Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about why it's so hard to teach family members to code. It's something that I've gone through multiple times in my life and my career for that matter, but it presents a particular challenge that no matter how skilled you are in a subject matter or how close your bond is, that or how far advanced you are in your career, that you may not be able to overcome. And it's something that I've struggled with in the past. I want to sort of share my thoughts as to why that is. Might I take a moment to recommend our long-term sponsor? Long-term, as in we've been working together for almost 3 years now, which is pretty crazy. And a lot of changes have happened at Dev Mountain. They've changed a couple locations in the past to now they're in the Lehigh area. They're also in Dallas and Phoenix. But if you're interested in considering a coding boot camp, might I recommend devmountain.com. They have programs in full stack JavaScript, iOS development, QA, UI, UX. You can find out more information at devmountain.com. So, for those of you who don't know, I did a series a while back where every single day for an hour, I live streamed me working with my girlfriend, trying to teach her how to code. And I got a lot of positive feedback on it. People really liked it because it was a unique opportunity where you could see a professional try and teach someone who's a novice how to code. And you don't get too many videos like that where you have the same questions she has and you have someone to bounce it off and they're just looking at you dumbfounded like, what are you even talking about? Why is that even a question? Now, we did that for 30 days. I wanted to do it for longer. I wanted to do 100. We didn't make it to 100. A couple of reasons why, and that's sort of the main intent of this video. Someone asked me, for those of you who don't know, my girlfriend's doing a online coding boot camp, and they're like, well, why don't you just teach her? Well, it presents a lot of challenges. Now, I would say the only probably position where teaching your significant other to code is easier than teaching your parents, but it's right up there at top, because part of what it means to be a teacher to a student is there's a hierarchy with that, right? There is a level of distinction where the teacher and the student are not on the same level, and your parents, when they view you, may not be on the same level, all right, because they're your parents. And in a relationship, you are always should be equals, right? And so by default, you're put into this position where you are now, instead of being equals here, but that can never really happen. And so in any relationship, there's the equal status, there's a healthy level of disrespect, there's I mean that in the most affectionate way possible. But when working with family, it's a much different circumstance than working outside of family. And even if you are a senior developer, you are still your significant other and sort of crossing them into, and there may be a respect from the family member, but a lot of times you're going to hit this roadblock. And I've talked about where in the past, you learning to code and just getting your family on board with what that takes is a challenge in itself. It's one of those items where I've talked where when I was living with my mother, I was studying every day. I'd tell her, like, when the door is closed, I'm studying, I'm doing this, and like you're taking me out of my workflow. Don't ask me if I want to go grocery shopping. Don't ask me to change the laundry. Don't ask me to do dishes. And it's not because I'm trying to be rude. It's just that I'm busy. I'm not in here playing League of Legends or whatever it is that you think I'm doing that I would probably have been doing as like a 13, 14, 16-year-old kid. As a 24-year-old man, I'm out here grinding. And they don't always get that. Even, people who are in similar situations. I've had many one-on-ones with people where they're trying to bring their family members on board to understand what it is they're trying to accomplish, and they're just unable to do it, whether it's their husband or wife, because they don't fully grasp the task at hand. They don't fully understand how you just can't go back to something. And because for a lot of people, they've never been in a role or learned something that works like that. They think you just drop it and go back to it, but it doesn't really work like that with software development. And I apologize if I'm slurring my words a little bit. I have my retainers in. And but yeah. Anyhow, but the point I'm trying to make is that as you are trying to educate other people, whether it's about you learning code or somebody else learning code, there, as family, there's not this barrier separation like you would have in any other environment. In a scholastic environment, there's you can like your teacher, you can like your students, your TAs, there's a barrier separation where there's a certain way to interact. And in the workplace, similar things where there's a certain acceptable way of how to communicate, how to interact. And when you're with family, that separation is much smaller or gone altogether. So one reason that I can't go and spend 40 hours a week teaching April is the time. I don't have time. She's doing 40, 50 hours a week in a boot camp. I don't have 40, 50 hours a week. I have a full-time job. I have a YouTube channel, doing courses, doing my own studying, continue to grow my own skill set, right? Does that mean that if I did, would I? Maybe. I don't know. But that's part one challenge. Part two challenge is being able to go and be that teacher to the student while there's not this separation here. One of the things that, because I do help April every day, almost, where she gets stuck for an hour or two. She asks me a question. I'll go down there and try to explain the concept or try to break it down, see what she's doing it. She hits those walls, so I try to help her understand why she hit the walls. And, I was just talking yesterday about how she was stuck for like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours on something, and I wasn't able to help her because I was just in meetings all day doing my thing, right? And so by the time I got down there, she was just frustrated in tears, as we all have been, and so I show her, I fix it, and she starts picking up, and then I delete it to get her to do it again, and that was a bad thing to do, but that's how I would do it if I was a teacher to a student, because that's how it was done to me. Does that make sense? I have a couple of mentors in my life, and anytime I've ever been really stumped on something, they may have taken 30, 45 minutes to show me something. In this case, it was like 5 minutes, but they have taken 30, 45 minutes. And I'd be like, okay, cool, push, and this is in the workplace. Go ahead and push that up, and I'll take a look. And then just literally Control-Z back to a clean repo or git stash, and it's all gone. He's like, okay, now you do it. And the first time it happened to me, I remember being dumbfounded. I was like, this guy really just do that? But as I look back on it, and after the first time, and I actually went and I understood the topic, and I actually, even though it's more challenging, even though it wasn't the easy thing to do, it became the better thing to do. And so it's hard to... That's acceptable because we're in the workplace. It's hard to cause some pain to your family members, even if you want to. And part of it is because that you are so close. Part of it is that you are that there isn't that barrier of separation. So one of the things you should think about when you're trying to educate your family members with code is that you can't necessarily be their direct teacher successfully. You might be able to. I'm just talking generalities, but what you can be is more of a resource instead of a partner in that, because you're a partner in other things, whether they're your cousins or brother and sister or mom and dad or boyfriend girlfriend, whatever. Boyfriend 2019, baby. All right. The point I'm trying to make is that it's a hard task, and it's one I've tried to tackle in the past, and I've done unsuccessfully. That could speak about me, but I think it's more about the dynamic. So as you go in your career and you become more successful and people are looking for career changes, naturally they might consider software, and people might ask you to teach them. And my response to that is, at the end of the day, when it comes to software, you have to be so in your own corner that having a resource that is good to provide direction, but you're the one that has to run in that direction. And it becomes no matter how much you're going to teach somebody, at the end of the day, from you to go from novice to developer, that's going to be all on the individual. But yeah, a couple thoughts. I thought it was an interesting video because like I've got a couple comments about it. It's been interesting to see April go and grow and gain skills, and we're having higher level conversations about software that we've never been able to have before, which is an interesting thing that I never really thought would happen. But I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes, and maybe we'll do a couple more videos like this as we share unique experiences of having someone who's a senior level developer and having someone who's a novice trying to go and get that, and sort of the interesting life experiences that happen in the process. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you're interested in any of my latest courses, such as our bestseller, that's right, you'll see it on Udemy, it says bestseller, little tag, the 100 front-end interview question challenge, you can get it for just $9.99 in the description below. See you guys next time. Bye. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that notification bell or smash that like button while you're at it. And if you're interested, I just released my latest course, the 100 Front-End Technical Question Challenge, which is there to help you pass those front-end technical interviews. There's over 100 questions. You can get it for just $9.99. The link is in the description below, or use coupon code CodingGod.